In our series looking forward to 2021, we're taking a wide-ranging look at what we can expect next year. Everything from politics to travel to education. You know, the pandemic has exposed dramatic inequalities in the American public school system. There's a report by Common Sense Media that says an estimated 15 to 16 million K through 12 students live in homes with poor or no internet connection or don't have adequate devices for proper remote learning. Randi Weingarten is president of the American Federation of Teachers. That is the union representing 1.7 million teachers and other school professionals. Randi, good to see you.
It's great to see you, David. I hope you're safe.
I am, and you too. Listen, let's start with the vaccine, right? So frontline workers are receiving it now. When do you think teachers will be next to receive?
Well, you know, we're hopeful that after healthcare workers and nursing home patients and staff, that teachers will be next in line, you know, with other essential workers. And we pushed the CDC for that over the course of the last few months. We'd love to see, you know, school opening and vaccines aligned together. We're concerned that, you know, the Trump administration did not get out as many vaccines as they said that they would, and that's one more thing that's going to be left for the Biden administration. And we're, you know, hopeful. We're glad that President-elect Biden said yesterday that he would use the Defense Production Act to get more vaccine, you know, to people. But I do think that we can reopen in-person learning once one tackles this current surge without waiting for everyone to get vaccinated. I think we can, you know, use testing as a key early warning measure because we need to reopen our school buildings and we need to keep people safe.
Ms. Weingarten, Jerika Duncan here. We know that $54 billion from that coronavirus relief package is going to schools K through 12. Where do you think that money needs to be spent, especially after hearing that 15 to 16 million K through 12 students don't even have access to internet or poor internet? And kind of going back to the vaccine, do you think teachers should be mandated to take it?
Look, so first off, Jerika, if please call me Randi.
All right,
Only
Randi.
My students call me Miss Weingarten, okay?
Out of respect.
But so, no, I appreciate it. So David's laughing. The bottom line is this: you can't. Let me get to the mandate issue. Right now in America, you have to create. You know, truth is earned. And trust is earned. I mean, trust is earned. I wish truth was obvious, but trust is earned. And so we have to show people that the vaccine is credible and it's real. And, you know, so I would put that issue about whether you mandate it off to the side for a second. I want to see 100% of educators take it, and I want to see 100% of kids take it as soon as it is, you know, as soon as it's been proven effective. And, you know, Dr. Fauci has said that we need 80 to 90% of people taking it for us to create herd immunity. But there's so many fights in America right now. We don't need to have that fight right now. And frankly, there's a lot of history of distrust in communities of color about vaccines. And so let's actually create the trust. And so that's, but in terms of schooling itself, you know, and the money, look, we had been pushing for state and federal funds, which frankly, state and local funds fund basically half of schooling. So the fact that the Republicans and Mr. Trump refused to do that means that there's still a huge hole. Does $54 billion go a long way? Of course it does. But let's measure it against what the CDC has said, finally, that it costs to get the safeguards in. And they say it costs about $400 a student. So if you're thinking about what schools need, and I'm sorry it's a laundry list, but like, you know, when I came to CBS this morning, everybody's doing the same thing. It's physical distancing. It's everybody's wearing their PPE or their masks. It's good ventilation. It's good cleaning. And then on top of that, testing, which is a really important early warning system that will help us reopen schools. That kind of package of safeguards costs money.
Randi, let's talk about roadblocks and priorities with the Biden administration, right? So your organization endorsed President-elect Biden. You campaigned for the Senate candidates in Georgia. Have you spoken to the Biden administration about what you'd like to see as some of the first things to tackle, such as kids having internet, especially those who don't?
Yes, I have. And frankly, so we've spoken to them. I've written about a blueprint in November and in December about what we need. But it is a sin, David, that 16 million kids do not have internet. We're a year into this pandemic, and frankly, what all kids need is high-speed internet. So in suburbs and cities across the country, high-speed internet exists, but it costs money. And kids and their parents should get it for free. And it shouldn't have taken a pandemic for that to happen.
Now, Randi,
so there's some money in the new COVID relief bill, but we need more. And we need one more thing I would say is that we need something like the TVA that Roosevelt did for electrification. We need a broadband push in rural areas.
Randi, thank you. I'm told we are out of time. Good to see you. Happy New Year.
Sorry. You too, David.